So for number 26, if you didn't watch the other video, go ahead and watch that. But we want to create our function first. Negative 3 is a 0, so that means that x minus negative 3 or x plus 3 is a factor of multiplicity 2. And then if 5 is a 0, that means that x minus 5 is a factor. So negative 3 is a 0, 5 is a 0, so those equate to the x-intercepts. It's a third-degree polynomial, so we know that the graph is going to come up from left to right. Don't forget, negative 3 is a double root, so, the factor has a multiplicity of 2, which means it's a double root, which means that the graph touches the x-axis at negative 3, and then 5, x minus 5, has a multiplicity of 1, so it goes through the graph, through the x-axis at 5. So then we get 4 has a multiplicity of 3. So we have y equals, so x, if 4 is a 0, then x minus 4 is a factor of multiplicity 3. And we should know what that looks like. We know that the graph of y equals x cubed looks like, and then it has a squiggly at 0. But if we're moving the graph of y equals x cubed to the right 4 units, then we would have the graph going up from left to right, a little squiggly at 4, and then the graph just looks like that. And then we have y equals, so we have negative 2 as a 0, so y equals x minus negative 2, or x plus 2, multiplicity of 2, times x minus 0. We'll just write that as x. I would prefer actually writing the x first, and then we have that. We have x times x plus 2 squared. So negative 2 is a 0, 0 is a 0. We know it's a third-degree polynomial, so it goes up from left to right. And don't forget, we've got, let's see, 0 is, negative 2, a multiplicity of 2, so we kind of go up here, touch the x-axis at negative 2, and then back up through the x-axis at 0. And finally, our last two, we have negative 3 as well as 3. If negative 3 is a 0, then x minus negative 3 or x plus 3 is a factor of multiplicity 2. X minus 3, since 3 is a 0, so x minus 3 is a factor. We know it's a third-degree polynomial, so it goes up from left to right. And we touch the graph, touch the x-axis at negative 3, come back down, and we go back up through 3 on the x-axis. And then finally, we have 0 is a 0, and we know that that means that y equals, so x is a factor. X minus 0 or x plus 0 is a factor, and so we can just write that as x with a multiplicity of 3, so we have y equals x cubed, which is exactly what we already should know anyway. So there you have it.